Yeah. That level the vibes, you know what I mean? Chilling in the studio one. Smokey Don one. That man, Belizean man. You know what I mean? Everything serious, man. We play every instrument. Swap. Ekuga. Big tune, big tune. No sound production. Maximum yes. This one out, give a keep and the next one out. Give a try on people that do it inside the break. Everybody will see the real one. Oh God, my face that so tell me who's the real deal. I'm gonna give you big darkness and you try this week. I'm you with the right and well let's get it. Big you out in the car. I'm telling you in the car. I don't believe in violence, but if you're coming to me, you will swear I'm the boogie man, time for your foolishness. In the whole ocean, put me down. Real bad man don't talk out loud. Real bad man don't say it loud. Yeah. If you wanna be bad man, bad, then I'm gonna say this, they're gonna say this. If you wanna be bad man, bad, then I'm gonna start flying. You're gonna start flying. You think what to run them. You think what to run them. If you wanna be bad man, bad, then I'm gonna say this. Bad man around top and a tailor. Bad man around shoe and a video. Bad man a just run up on you and mash you with your base up. Everyone wanna really do that. Bad man a care for you rude. Bad man don't care what you application. But you didn't really talk this shit. You can hop up and it down. Really silent step up, run up in the place with the egg. Spend a call cigarette. Like a spring roach with the Reagan. 6 star real Dominican. First of all, play color like a brick sun. One down, everybody in the radio. Yeah. One down, you know, get ready, you know, you see tomorrow. On the battle, words remove them. Remove them. Like, you must rule as a hurt harder. Earth is supposed to be my father. Let the fire with the banana. The tune is from a man for two harder. Region to governor, king warrior. From a Yeshagoa to what is a mama. I am not built in the Gada. I'm on scepter, we para. I am of Judah, real conqueror. Yay. Africa, we say them want control. Ethiopia, them want stronghold. Idi Amin say we send them home. Pirate Araba, you will go overboard. Go off the word and bring off the sword. Warrior code. Fight, we will fight to stay alive. We fight, we will fight. So we have to make a sacrifice on the battleground. Where the trumpet sound. Papa said Dracula bleeding the earth. Demons clenching, squeezing the world. Wicked stealing, misleading the world. Wicked lying, misleading the herd. You heard? Easy smoke, easy smoke. Easy. Easy. Bring it down there, smoke. Bring it down there. Greetings. Routine, regular routine, everything to the supreme. When you say that don't know that what we mean. Yeah. Welcome to the Sea Smoke Show. Where there is smoke, there's fire. Don't know. Easy to smoke. You see me along with my tech, right? I did my tech, yeah. A lot of things to go on today, man. So just take it easy. We have Nigo coming in live in a minute, you know what I mean? Big things to go on in my general scene. Later on we'll have Miss Arlette along with the host of that's coming on at 4:30, along with Miss Arlette and my boy G Michael, you know. Just wanna say respect goes out to everybody every week. You know, the vibes are for the spread off the scene like that. You dig? You know, in the meantime, I want to say, on behalf of the team, we just want to say condolences to Prexy.
You know what I mean? To the Prexy family, to the System One family, coming from all of us from over here to over there. You understand me? Mr. Gregory Gill, yeah, to Mr. Gregory Gill family, the same way. And to deal, to mix, mix. When I'm a dread, I play the drum and mix me in a smoky band back in the days. My boy, you know what I mean, teach me a lot same way. So yo, I mean, condolence out to all the families, man, for real. You dig? Um, we got a few things going on that we need for you to. Man, I leave with him the back there smoky. What I do right there, so make I bring up on two things so people ain't gonna know really, really how they go on. Same way. As you can see right now on the screen is the BD, ANY, the spring fling, regular routine every year. They touch it like that. So yeah, DJ Derek spinning on the beat. You can contact Mr. Clay, Shanna, Gwenda, my cousin. You know where y'all go down at. 246 Lennox, same way, 8 p.m. to 1:30. Make sure to check in and see where they go on. That's one of the things at the present moment that the BDNY is doing. They're also doing this are the calendar go down where the spring fling you see already July 23rd, night and at the Sun Labor Day, barbecue jump up, night to remember Gala December the 3rd. She'll be on here probably I think in a couple of weeks, Miss Vanessa, and you will get more information from her through that thing there. Tonight, as a matter of fact, tonight, it's going on really, really, really tonight. Tonight you go check in on my general. It's a mob alongside but Brown. You dig? Cheater Chi Lennox is going down at the lab lounge. Make sure to pull up and see what's going on. It's gonna be lit. Regular routine. Once that combo get together, it's all over, bro. For real. So remember, always remember, never forget. It's what's happening. One or two more with him, Smokey, make I get some things lined up as we go along. Yeah, respect. One shout out to my Lee brother. One shout out to the Chuck family, see me. Francis, big up. You dig? For real. One say big up to Ton, Rico, and Lee by the cross tongue. We got a little new thing for come up for Sweetie, the touch it crew right now. So we got a little thing. Want say happy birthday to all the area and see me. Yeah. Happy birthday to Sweetie as it go along, you dig? Mr. Roca, Mr. Leonard, Carla, Dorleen, honestly, what the money say? Yeah, man. I enjoy the interview last time. Make sure I come through and check it again. Miracle, General, every day. Certain look for jump directly. Run the rhythm, Smokey. Run the rhythm.
Yo, it's boy D, the young baller straight out of Mango Creek. And I mean say, I don't need no problem. Me cut a family, cut a friend, me cut a fire, my enemy, them no need no damn problem. Like I said, it's the boy D Breeze with the young ball, and I just want to encourage everybody to link up on my bro page called Facebook. Every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. My bro will be live on Facebook and YouTube at C Smoke. Big up yourself, bro. On a link up. I believe that must be the bigger the first live progressive because we like to be like it to live. Not a perfect like something. General the law. Ready for get no for big. I bet that church if I think they're innovative. Black people representative. The more you do, back and take the motive. Sing out right now. You stand the king one another. Right now in the time. Celebrate with Father. Big tune, believe on the fire. Right now. Right now, right now, right now, the youth and the kids wanna know. Right now, the time spreading news to your brother. Right now, right now, right now, right now. Blind lead the blind, prophecies fulfilled. Signs of the time, and still some civilians and white collar crime. Running 50 minutes, I not find a line hungry. One more round that them cook and wine. Then they try to tell him I'm crying. Choke them like it's not just from behind. Eat to the eye when they're blind. They climb up on the sea. One decline, moral fabric of society. One decline, ecosystem. One decline, them to the start of the one thing they can find. And that's the peace of mind. Right now, the youth and they kill one another. Right now, the time they pray to the Father. Right now, they lead on the fire. Right now,
Yes, that's smoking that. Put on the one there. Fire that represent. Click and go in there. Gangsta with gangsta. Oh, yes, a fire that represents the smoking that now. Ready now.
General the ball, run forget, no forgive. I bet them myself if I take them innovative. Black people representative. The more you just move back and check the move. Sing on. Right now, you stand they kill one another. Right now, in the time, say pray to the Father. Right now, they lead on the fire. Right now, right now, right now, right now, you stand they kill one another. Right now, in the time, say pray to the Father. Right now, spreading news to your brother. Right now, right now, right now, right now. Blind lead the blind, prophecy is fulfilled. Signs of the time, messages from the billions and call it white collar crime. Trying to scream the minute, but see, I don't find a dime. One more and then that them coke and wine. Then they try to time on crime. Choke them like it's not from behind. Lead to the eye when they're buying the crime. Rather than see on decline, moral fabric of society on decline, ecosystem on decline. Then to the start shall be one thing they can't find, and that's the peace of mind. Right now, the youth and they kill one another. Right now, in the time, they pray to the Father. Right now, they lead on the fire. Right now, right now, right now, right now. They kill one another.
You give me a second to smoke. Jay. Yeah, Nigo. Huh? What happened? Yeah, ready, yeah. Alright, cool. You take your time, man. I just make a do.
Smelling like so rich, time to stomach to digest all the carnage. Poor people of the game know like we selling less way. The whole is thinking, look, either them boy, read the Bible, but make certain passages. Hallelujah. Talk to college. Can't live like what I Hallelujah. Right now, the youth them they kill one another. Right now,
Right now is the time for the prayer to the Father.
they lead on the fire.
Right now.
Right now, the youth them they kill one another. Right now, the time we pray.
Yes, well, it's about that time. It's about that time for us to bring in life and believe, you know what I mean? Huh, Smokey? Let's see. Give us a second, then we'll be bringing in Julia live on the podcast in a few seconds, bro. And then she'll be talking to Mr. Nigo in a minute. Colonel. You know what I'm saying? Ask me to send it. I send it back for you. That's my man. I send it back for you. Give us a minute. It's about to pop off in a little while. What's nothing? You see. Uh, we get this over to my man, and then we get back on in a second.
Bangins.
Science.
I have a little tropical storm over here, my boy.
For real again? Oh yeah, why call it a brother book chapter? Right, why you come song man? Why you come song? Look here, my general. Anyway, run it crucial. Yeah, that's what it is.
You hear me?
A blessing, man. Yeah, a blessing. I hear it. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. What's it, Julia?
Sorry about my tongue there just now.
Yeah, me know yourself, man. You cool. You cool. Go bring in Julia when you're ready. Run the rhythm. To this boy, are they? Anyway, make I say, I go read out a couple of things while but you see that storm out in Florida right now. Man, directly Julia called tell me where they go to believe, but I don't know what's that. Like I say, what Lenny? I want to say big up to Lenny. I want to say big up to R126 Super Celebrity Crew, our Brooklyn massive CMA. I want to say respect north, south, east, and west, I believe. All square footage at the 8,000 and so much. What would it call me again? What that smoke? What smoke? What? That's what I come in. Nobody say, man, the rain knock off the set, boy, I say. I saw you go, you see the rain. The rain got outside first, so I'm just stay inside. Anyway, set it back up. Now what's none? We got time. Yeah, we good, man. Don't worry about that. I'll bring out Julia. Julia, a professional. Hey, Julia, we told her, I can't think that joke thing, you know. Greetings. See my little sister, yeah? Jules.
Yes.
Oh, all right, then. Where the pan?
Well, at the right time, like everything else, you know.
That's true, yeah.
Beautiful day today.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. A one storm there, the Florida right now.
Real?
Yeah, knock out smoking and thing just now.
Sure.
Yeah,
You mean like lot of rain?
lot of rain, look like lot of thunder, lot of all kind of thing.
No wonder it must be hot here. The extra hot here today.
Oh, extra hot today. Oh, all right.
It's hot, but it's still windy.
It's still all right. You're gonna leave breeze at least. Yeah, all right.
Yes.
But
everything is everything.
Everything is everything, baby. For real.
Yes.
Give love for life and life for love, you know what I mean? For
All
real, we appreciate it every time. You think? Kind of precious, you know? Very precious, you know? So yeah, it is what it is, like I say. You know? We got in studio with us, Mr. Nego at the moment. Mr. Nego Heights. Respect. Greetings. Manners and respect, my lad. What the weather look like over there, so?
It's raining outside, you know, but in the midst of the rain, look like you have snow and ice in it too, so not even just regular rain.
Yo! Alright, brother. The rain knock off the thing that out of Florida just now. With my musical tech, so I don't know, but we are right still.
Yeah, give thanks all the same, yeah, sir.
Now we are just the same. You know, the fire, you get protected, you know.
Yeah. We give thanks, brother, because we could have done Ukraine right now.
Yeah, I really think, man, I have to explain about the Ukraine hot. Ukraine up on fire, man. Ukraine up on fire, man. For real, I don't know, man. And for some reason, I view it kind of different because I think some of the things that are just, you know, I don't know the prophecies they fulfill or the science or, you know, certain things like that too. You know? It's bigger than we think, man, I think. That's how I see it.
Well, this is why I can't get personal with some of these things.
Exactly.
When scripture start revealing them things, when it start coming forward in our time, it's beyond where we our realms of thought. You know, them things are something we stem way back from creation time. You know, so we just play a part in a time and live in at the moment now. So we can't really even pick a side, so to speak, because if I know it's out of righteousness, then you're definitely the walk on a thin line. So it's one of them things that we just have to go and live and love still.
Respect. Jules, you want to ask Nego a couple of things?
Yeah.
Greetings, woman. Blessed.
Yes, bless up, brother. What part of the country are still then? New York, LA, where?
They're Chicago right now. Chicago.
Where?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Oh, okay. I used to be in Chicago for like 15 years. Did like 14 winters, so yeah, I know what time it is. You spread up your music out that side there, or?
Yeah, man, you know, we've been here for a while, so we've been working in the circles here, and we try to conquer everything in the circle, in the region, because, you know, this is where we get to practice and where we work, and, you know, where we start build and create the whole name Nego Heights and the whole entity Nego Heights, you know, the artistry, everything get created here in Chicago, and this is where the movement stem from. So we kind of interject ourselves in everything around here, so to speak, like, at this point, if you say Chicago had a Rasta face, so it would be Dove Music, which is the label I'm with. and the movement that we are a part of, it would have be our thing, so this is what we stand for. So Chicago is definitely the birthplace and Eagle Eye, so to speak, as far as the career musically goes.
I need to turn off the fan. Okay. So do you find the Belizean coming on to your your reggae music? Because I have a sister, like almost every time I talk to her, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to this reggae activity, whatever," because she supports a lot. So I was just wondering.
Well, the thing is this, we have to understand, say, because of the lineage of slavery and all the things and how we are brought up and how we understand things, we always like foreign things more than local things, so to speak. So I believe Zion might feel the vibe, like the vibe, support the thing, but not on the same level
Not the
as they
same.
would for somebody that's international or somebody that's not of Belizean nationality, so to speak. Not to say that Belizean don't support the thing, but it's not in a grand fashion like they would for somebody coming from somewhere else. But I'll tell you what, um, I get good support in the other Caribbean communities, especially Jamaican community. I get very good support there, and even in Africa and outside of the US and stuff. But the Belizeans per se would show up to events and stuff here, and they will support the events here. You'd have to ask. Um, when I perform in an event and I be like in a Belizean or the host or whatever, like sometimes half the crowd or more is Belizean. So, they support. It's just that like artists can't, like a reggae artist cannot just say, boy, well, the Belizean support here is overwhelming or whatever. We can't say that. But in all honesty, the support is there. As a matter of fact, some of the support is more from a distance than it is up front and personal. Like sometimes they'll tell you, yeah, man, I see you and I know your thing, I love the music and this and that. But if we were to say we can go to the show and 50 Belizean people at the front say, yeah, we come to support our artists and think we can't really say that, but
Mhm.
they would be in the event, nonetheless, but we give thanks still because it's a journey, like I said. A part of our upbringing and our culture has been to really seek for things outside of our own for the most part. So it's a learning experience for everybody. We
Yeah.
never really have, per se, international standard reggae artists growing up and them things. So I understand totally what it is for these people. It's something new for them, especially the more mature adults where the parties nowadays. The younger generation, yeah, they will flock to the thing and say, yeah, we're proud, we're glad with this and that. But the more mature people kind of this is new to them, so we have to understand. So we have to ease it and soft to them too at the same time. But our mission is so big and so global and worldwide that we can't even stop and say, well, if we don't get the support of these people, we need to have the support of these people or whatever. Cause like I always tell the Virgin them, the the world is so huge and so vast that if you look at the map, Belize is just a dot, like a period at the end of a sentence. So
Mhm.
there's so much more ears out there in the world who need to hear the music and need to get the vibe. So it's not a thing where we make it localized where if a Belize not supported or we're not getting strength from this so we can't move forward. That is not the situation. The situation is we conquer the world. That we come to do conquer the world. So conquer
Yeah.
the world is the mission. So but we give thanks to those who do support. I mean even ones like yourself and for Clinton and the ones who always, in the inbox and give you words of strength and say, yeah, move forward, the thing them nice. We love the thing them. How can we help? How can we appreciate that? We love that because those are the kind of encouragement that means the most at the end of the day as well.
That's true. So, how long have you been, in the music industry, and was it like really a struggle for you, or did it come in as easy since the reggae music is already out there, and the different rhythms or the different whatever, did it come in easy for you, or did you had to struggle, like when it comes to management, or you doing your own thing?
Well, like anything else in a life, when you want anything above what you have or beyond what you have, it's always a struggle. Yeah, I struggled, and I wouldn't say the struggle is over. I would say the struggle is just getting to a point where it's manageable because now I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and now we understand the business on a certain level, and we have direction, so to speak. when we first started out, it was a lot of hit and miss and self-taught, situations, a lot of sleepless nights and these type of things. I started out with a brethren. Uh, they call him Hatay. He's Jamaican. He had a label movement called Garrison Tech. Started out with him. Um, did a couple projects with him, and then that never really last because he had a bunch of artists and he was trying to push everybody and give everybody a strength, but everybody wasn't on the same mission, And this
Yeah.
was about early 2000. This is like 2008 or something like that, and 2009 he kept on pushing and everything, but everybody wasn't putting in the same. So from that bunch of about probably 7 artists, I'm like the only one, and I was the only one that was legion in the pack. And at the end of the day, I'm the only one that's still doing music or still have current music and still putting out music and producing music. Everybody else have really just watered down and just gone quiet. But I'm just saying that to say that with this music, the movement is all about consistency and persistence. To
Yeah.
get to where you need to be, you have to really just continuously push and be serious about it. Because at the end of the day, it's sometimes it's discouraging because what you might be looking for might be hype, might be a big payday, it might be some fame, and these things don't readily come to everybody. Everybody won't get this, and for somebody newer people that's coming up, I want to assure you that when it comes to reggae or dancehall, reggae most of all, anyways, or any music, um, you have to spend about maybe 10 years before you even get to the point of being recognized or having your name in certain circle. And when I first started, people said that, and I was like, "No, man, that's impossible. Nobody has got 10 years." And so we used to think that when we hear an artist and we hear them for the first time, we thinking it's the first thing they ever did, and this artist young and he boss already, and it's like even Chronixx on them. But you find out Chronixx might be boss at 20, but Chronixx are doing it from about 10. Chronixx been doing music, and I mean, just per se, Chronixx, just for example. But there's several other artists that I've studied and looked at, and I realized that they spend their 10 years before they really got any kind of like get back anything that was solid or concrete out of the music, as far as what they put in the music, as far as time and effort and money and all that. Because you do spend a lot of money, especially as you learn, you better your quality, you upgrade your things them, so everything becomes, you market your music more, so you spend a lot of money. It's not a cheap venture, so to speak. If you're planning to go into music just because you think that you're super talented and you don't want to invest no money, trust me, you're not going anywhere. Because I don't care how talented you are, if you're not investing money in your music, you're not gonna make it. So it's been a journey where some days it's rough, some days it's sweet, some days it's nice. um some days you can see what it is you work for. Because I do like conscious and positive music, I get a lot of inbox from people from anywhere from Germany to Australia to Canada to Africa. Even Belize people will come in and say, "Yo, give thanks for strength because your music helped me, to go through problems or whatever. Your music is like the go-to, and them thing that the messages in your music and them things." So it's been a rough road most of the time, but at the same time, when you're called to do something, it's not about what you endure, it's about what you deliver. So for me, it's been like, I'm right at my, because when I started taking music really seriously was like in 2013 when I dropped my first project. And so for me, I'm coming up to that mark, my 10-year mark, and so far, right now, a lot of things are looking real good and real promising as far as it goes. I've been doing most of it not by myself, but with a very small team. Right now, my team got small, but it's very potent at the moment. I have my two of my very very good friend, we're like brothers. That's on my team at this point, and that is Eugene Medina, aka the Genius, the Mamba, yeah, and I got Zadi Wadada, which is he's my engineer, and we've been going at it. And for everything, for most of the things you've heard from Negoites, the song, it was what Zadi Wadada that brought you the voice Negoites that people have gotten to know. It was him. So it was never just me alone. I had a vision to do music, and then once the most I set things in place and I met these individuals, then things really take a turn for the best and start looking real good. So we give thanks to that. But like I said, I'm coming up to what I call my 10-year mark, based on dropping my first project in 2013. The album Judgment Morning. So you I am a firm believer that you have to invest about 10 years or more
Mhm.
in this music. And like I said, I've been trying the journey from about 2008 2009. I've been trying it, but I wasn't per se serious about it until like 2013. I was like, okay, I did my part, I studied enough, I mastered certain things, and I'm still learning as we speak, but I'm moving forward and looking forward to something great happening at my 10-year mark.
Okay, that is good. So, what kind of like advice would you give to like the younger guys coming out now in the music industry? We know a lot of them are into other than the reggae music, they sing a lot of these violence and stuff like that. But like the ones that are going into the conscious smooth, the good reggae songs and stuff like that, what advice would you give to them in regards to coming out?
Well, the first thing is this. I can't necessarily say I could support everybody's lyrical choice, but I support talent. So sometimes some of the music that ones make, I might not condone the lyrical content. I might not support lyrical content, but you could tell their level of talent based on the delivery, the style, the writing, and everything. And I would let them know this. I reach out to a lot of young artists, in Belize, and I would like, yo, youth, you have talent, this and that. What I encourage them to do though is, um, the negative music and the crime music and the gunman song and all these things, it reflects what they are living, what they experience. I get that. But at the same time, I also encourage them to make music that could withstand the test of time, so to speak, because these songs are disposable music. 2 months tops, they're gone, done.
That's
It's
it.
another one. So I try to tell people, make music that's always going to be relevant, music that people can relate to, music that you can play for your daughter, your little
Mhm.
son, or you could play for your grandma without cringing. I mean, because there's so much to go around. We have an example like Bob Marley. Bob Marley transition years ago, and music still relevant up to this day.
Yeah.
And nobody can show me a dancehall artist will drop a song 5 years ago that's still relevant, or even 6 months ago that's still relevant. So my thing is, I'm not gonna knock a one because if they find out a niche to make money to feed them family and all these things, I'm not gonna take that away from them. But I was tell them that don't limit yourself to just that, because real talk, years to come, you might not even be getting visa to fly out doing that kind of music.
Yes, that's
So I mean, if you're looking at this to better your life and take you out of poverty or give you an opportunity, or to make better for yourself, you might really reconsider all these things, because I've heard a lot of lyrics that's coming out of Belize, and some of these young youths are very, very skillful with writing and they're very talented. So I would just encourage them to kind of try something else as well. Don't limit yourself. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't get to be known as the gunman artist, because that might just be the reason you don't never make it to your full
big.
potential. So
Yeah.
don't be the reason. Don't stifle yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't never do that. And even for the young artists that's doing like roots music per se, that's coming up, um, just know that your market is not just the people on your street or your block, your community, your village, in your country. Your audience is the world. So don't make nobody feel like you're limited, or you think not play up on the radio in Belize, or DJs in Belize don't play a thing, so you give up and get weary. And no, you can't do that. You can't afford to make these little things set you back, because the world is there waiting to hear you. The world is always waiting to hear something fresh and positive from a different sound, a different perspective. So the world can always use some positivity and some good energy. So youths, never give up on your dreams. And if you say this is what you really want, just put all the energy and your time and your focus into it, and push it out there in the universe, push it in the world. You have the internet, nobody can stop your thing anymore. If a DJ down there don't play a thing, that's it. But don't worry about that. Like I said before, if you check the globe, Belize is a tiny dot on the globe. The world full of ears that want to hear positive sounds.
That's true. Smoke it done.
Smoking it done.
Last weekend I went to a concert in the cultural capital, Dangriga, and I'm not gonna say I was shocked, but I was so fascinated with the with the talented guys that came on stage. It makes me I even had to ask, are they foreigners or are they right? You know, they were right from Dangriga,
Mm.
and the people in Dangriga supported these guys. It was like I don't even know how to say it. I mean, you know, everybody knew the songs that these guys were singing. Everybody was into it. They were on the stage. I was so fascinated into that I couldn't even pull out my camera and take a video or anything. I've never seen anything like that. It was
Nah, but that's
unbelievable.
where it's headed. But that's where it's headed for in Belize. That's where it's
These
headed for in
guys,
Belize.
these guys had talent from down
Yeah.
south. I'm telling you, they were
Hey,
bad.
listen. I know a lot of youth from other inner city of Belize. That's nice right now. Like you say, it's just the lyrics. You know what I mean? But as far as the written, the writing, they getting it. Plus, you know what I noticed about them? They quick. They're not like, you know, they drop a song like now, like ready, like right away. So, you know, they're really talented in a way. But even
Yeah,
though Belize is just a dot, right? Even though Belize is just a dot, it's centrifugal. Belize longitude and latitude is like, you know, that is Chris coming out of there. Belize is tough. I'm not saying like everybody else isn't, but I'm just saying there's a certain thing that we have that we got to be appreciative of, including our language or history or mix or everything. You know what I'm saying? It brings out the best in us. There's nobody could sing like us. You know, we could imitate a lot of people, but for somebody to get down Creole like we, or if we talk or when we could start out, nobody can so talk like we. You know what I mean?
yeah.
We got
No.
capabilities to me.
I have to
We
take
got
that.
capabilities to me that's beyond the next level, my boy. And you starting to see it now with the music. Because I think I agree with you when you were talking earlier about the music being uplifting. Because it's the music that's doing it. Music is love. You have to if you're passionate about music, it's gonna bring you out of certain I see music bring people out of certain situations. You see what I'm saying? So that's exactly what it is, my lord. You did? Nigo, you there? Nigo gone. We're checking Nigo directly. Smokey, you back on? All right, cool, Smokey.
Let's fix
Nigo
it.
suffering technical difficulties. We're going to deal with that as we go along.
Oh, he's
Okay,
here.
Nigo. My general. So, my general, listen, what we got up next? Where you know they like, you know, I know a two album, a three singles, I need this, I need that. So
Well,
talk to me, man.
right now we have a lot of things. We have a song that we will be releasing very soon called "Guilty as Charged." That was produced by Genius and Genius, you know? And we have a youth
Telling
song
me,
named "Youth
Daddy.
for Rich." Um,
All
that's
right.
produced by a Belizean producer. That song is getting ready to get released though, and I mean we have a bag of things because, like I said, I keep recording, so we record a lot. Um, we have a combination song with me and a artist out of Chile, no Argentina, named Fidel Nadal. So we have that coming as well. So there's just a lot of stuff going on,
And
man.
how
We
about
just
the videos? How about the videos? What you doing about the videos?
Well, we're trying to get some videos situated too because nowadays it's not like one time we just drop a song. Now for the
Nah, you
song to
need
reach,
visual. Yeah, you need
yeah, it's
visual.
like
Yeah,
audio
yeah,
visual is the key. If you want
yeah,
things progress to a certain levels,
yeah.
you
But
have
it
to
helps
get
you to
so
keep it helps you to keep sharp, you know. You know
yeah,
that, right? You know if you're thinking about doing because as you make the song, you're thinking about the song being a video. It goes hand in hand nowadays, you know.
yeah, man,
So
yeah, man.
anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So yes, the video is definitely. I think as a matter of fact, we're getting so complex with the video. It's not like shooting a video down the street. It's like taking a flight and go somewhere, take the video now. So that's
Yeah,
kind of like the plan
yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah.
next
Yeah,
level type
it's
of
true, yeah.
type of things,
It's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
And
Where
then
other artists out there kind of like you know what I mean? The check pan not collabing with you at the moment, but you hear them in the wind. Cause there's some couple of artists out there that's in the wind that's kind of tough right now. Especially some from Belize too. I'm talking about. I mean globally, but still, where artists know you think like out there working hard and trying and bringing the message like real hard body right now.
Um, in Belize, I know they got a few younger talent that I'm really watching right now. Like I would actually see myself doing a collaboration with them. And it's just because the energy I get a good energy from them, and I can see most of their stuff is like along the positive realm. But that don't mean that there's not youths out there that's doing a certain type of music that I wouldn't encourage and go, give a strength and do certain things with.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
they have a youth named Trouble that I really, it's original cool on the link. Galaxy Bass and X Youth are cool way,
Yeah,
there's a few ones, I mean,
yeah, yeah,
that's definitely
yeah.
real talented that I that
Because
I that I
when
definitely want to do business with.
you see this, what I'm saying, you got some people we're like look up to certain people and stuff like that. So if that somebody could take the time to say, well, even call that person name and let them know, that's an encouragement on a big level a lot of man don't know about.
Yeah,
Back
man.
in the days, people used to hide and play the guitar. You can't do that, you gotta let them do know, like you say, and let them know. Listen, man, continue with the thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, we have to encourage them, because at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
um, we can't be out here saying that we
Yeah,
lobbying for support, so to speak, and we're not supporting those who
exactly,
coming after us. We have to support them
exactly,
too as
brother.
well.
Exactly, brother. Exactly, brother. I
You
agree with
know,
you 100%. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree
man.
100%. Yeah, wanna be wolf, but they woolly like sheep, brother. I'm what's it called? They just bad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah, we have a lot of like a surplus of talent. Right? I could name some youth. I mean, ever youth name Six Frost. I mean,
Yeah, six frost tough. Six
yeah,
frost
them,
tough.
them have,
Yeah, that's all
like
right.
I
That's
said,
all
even
right.
Echo Milton is a tough youth
Yeah,
to get too.
they were over. They were little
I
out of
mean,
Belize right now.
yeah,
Yo,
man.
the mile 41 they bring pressure right now, too, boy.
I think
Red man
what this
and anybody they bring real pressure right
next
now.
next
David
youth.
and anybody.
Yeah, that one next youth. I think him name what J Money. I
J
think him name.
Money.
And then when they talk about the down south crew, you have a lot of ones young baller.
Yeah. They
They,
wide out there, bro.
they have an it's a nice collection of talent that we have at this point. I just wish
Mm.
that we could get to the point where collectively we could all start working on some serious projects and putting things together and constantly put things out there so we could build a industry, so to speak, because of the consistency in which we do things.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead,
man.
Nigo. I'm hearing you. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah, man,
hearing
the,
you.
the consistency is what I think we're lacking, and I think the professionalism is what we're lacking, and those are two things that we don't have to work on as a people, and we definitely have to start move together as a unit so we can bring the support in a one place, and that because the thing is, um one can be as strong as 1 million, but it have to
Mm,
be 1 million people together
mm,
becomes one voice, and
mm,
then we can do anything we want because we
mm.
have enough people on social media right now, for example.
Yeah,
So enough Belizean people on there for support
yeah,
each individual artist.
yeah.
And we realize that the support is so split because some people might think like, I don't live in the area where him lives, so we don't know. You have some people who like, I can't support them because this and that, and so the thing kind of weak up certain way. But I feel like if we get to the point of building a unity where every DJ spin the thing, them every radio play the thing, them all the artists them link with them one another, the people within the country of Belize and outside the country of Belize would see that movement and decide that, you know what, yeah, this makes sense. Let's do this. Let's be a part of it and support.
Okay, now listen. Um, um, um. There's certain area that the music is moving into, meaning as far as like you say with the internet, right?
Mm.
But because of the internet, you get everything. You understand?
Yeah.
So now you also have to put the diet, not even like the physical food diet, but the mental diet part of it too. But we are being taught now because of all the thing that transpired before with the pandemic and all these things, right? I noticed
Mm.
that a lot of people is getting into the dietary thing, but this is something that we've been practicing for a while.
Yeah.
How that affect your body in form of being a performer, stuff like that on that level now? As far as your because you need your body to perform. You know what I mean? You need your health, your strength, you need the vocals, you need these things. So to stay in shape, like if you was a baller, you play ball every day.
Right.
So how often would it be you say to take for somebody to get to that 10-year limit, to get to that level you talk on an everyday basis? What
Well,
that take?
well, the thing is this, like I live life 1 second at a time, so It's not a rush thing because you can plan for tomorrow, you can plan for next week, you can plan for the future, but if you don't pass the next second, you won't reach there. So you know.
Real.
So the thing is this: music is a form of discipline, just like a soldier have a discipline. You have to discipline. Just like the thing is, I guess, being disciplined musically is not hard for me because I guess having adapted the Rasta culture and the way of life and the meditation, we are disciplined individuals with how we eat and how we treat our body, how we respect our temple and them things there. So the thing is, a lot of these younger artists need to understand that as well, is because at the end of the day, you could write the toughest song, you could have the best vocals and have the best producers for your team, but if you can't perform your song, or if you're outside and you don't look presentable as an artist, not carrying yourself well, your attitude is not right, your demeanor and behavior is not right, it's gonna stifle you musically. It's not gonna allow you to go as far as you can musically. Music is a full package deal. I mean, you have to have the right behavior, the right attitude. You have to present yourself in a certain manner at all times. You have to carry yourself in a certain manner at all times. You have to be able to be sober, so to speak, because granted, you might see a lot of videos with a lot of man smoke or drink and these type of thing and all that, but at the same time, if it was to be a stage show, you can't go on the stage show drunk and the man where you can't really think and do it
Exactly.
with the crowd and all these things. It's
They have
discipline.
to drink a whole case of beer, smoke a
Yeah,
whole
all the
weed.
thing is for video. You
Ah,
know
that's
that
the
it just
flavor
look good on the
person.
video in their minds. It just look good on the video, but in reality, it's like music is work. Let's just put it as that. And you don't show up to your job with a bottle of Hennessy and a spliff and be like, yeah, I'm going to punch the clock. That's not what you do, you know. So you have to understand that with this music, you have to keep your body in tune because you are your biggest billboard, and your body is your business at the
Right.
end of the day, you know. So like for me, example, right now after passing through COVID and having surgery and bag of things, almost never there. I find myself now back in at the gym because now I have to get my body in shape because everywhere is opening up and the performances are starting to come in and people are calling and say, yo, you're free up, you can make it, because for about 2 years I couldn't do anything, I could barely move. So now, give thanks to the Most High. We're still there in flesh, but now we have to get our body tuned because at the end of the day, you can't go up on stage, go disappoint and flop yourself because you have nobody to blame but yourself. And sometimes it's not easy to recover from one of those flop. So it's not like somebody go call and say, yo, nigga, he's going up on stage and just flop, just pop down, out of breath, couldn't move, couldn't even chant his song, couldn't do this. No, that's not going to be the case because I understand the importance of making sure every opportunity counts in adding up to me building a portfolio to be able to sell myself at a certain level so I could accomplish what I want to accomplish out of music, which is to one day become successful enough where I could leave a legacy, I could build bridges, I could stretch a hand down to the next coming artist and I could set them straight as far as how to reach the top of the game in the business, you know, these type of things. So you have to definitely be fit, you have to mentally be sound, you have to be sober, you have to be wise, and you have to have strength. So for me now, I mean, you know, says a Rasta man, we ain't no flesh, no dairy, none of these things and things. So we think kind of up there already, and we meditation set. But the thing is, like I said, we have a level of discipline, so it's easy for us to be able to carry ourselves the way we do carry ourselves. It's like, you know, say, for example, and not people might not know this, but if I go to an event right now and do a show and one comes up, I want to take a picture, them have a cigarette in the mouth. First thing you have to put the cigarette up, but the cigarette can't have a picture. We're not give cigarette company no kind of advertisement. You have a beer in your hand, you drink a beer, put it down, brother, because we not support these things. Certain things where we don't partake in, we can't support. So don't get me wrong, some things are going to slip by here and there, but for the most part, if we don't believe in these things, if these things are not healthy for human beings, then we cannot support them being and give them no strength. So therefore we kind of it's just a discipline, you know, certain things we just won't partake of. We just won't do certain things. You know, I mean, you have to stand your ground. You see, music for I is just not entertainment. It's the life I live. You know, I live this way, and so the music is real to me. It's like some people do it for the hype and for the entertainment. That's not me, because if you meet me any day other than me being on stage or doing this interview now, this is what you're going to hear, exactly what I'm telling you now, and this is what you're going to see with my behavior, exactly what I'm telling you now. This is what you're going to see because I live this life. It's not like I come on here and say, yo, you know, sir, You know, take picture with the man, then with the drink, the whole heap of Hennessy and this and that. You not see no Hennessy in my video. You not see these things in my video. You might see this, brother. I see this. A bottle of water, H2O. That is how disciplined I'm disciplined, you know. And the thing is, I'll keep my circle small. It don't have to grow no bigger than it is at this point, because if ones don't want to follow these rules and guidelines, where I set for myself to be in my circle, brother, then you can keep on doing what you were doing. I'll keep on doing what I was doing.
You're right. I have to have a lot of strength.
Yeah, man. I mean, music requires a lot from you physically and mentally, and so to be stable mentally and physically is a challenge in these times, because there's a lot to distract you. But it like I said, if you definitely love music, like, you know, like I love music, you would find it easy to tell yourself, you know what, I'm beyond all this distraction. My music is bigger than this.
Bliss up, fire, bliss up.
Yeah,
Yeah, bliss up, fire. Don't know. The teachings is where it's at right now. Smoke it on. Yo. You get both. Smoke it on, you want?
Ask me about anything.
Hey, Nigo, smoke it on. We got smoke it on gonna be a band is set up in Florida, you know.
a band.
Yeah, a band. We are getting all the links thing together, you know.
Then know what's brother? First, a band is like you call me name.
Smokey, chat. Talk to my general family, Smokey. Tell me that's my take right there. Any hurricane just knock out the man just now, you know. That's how we got out just now, Nigo, dig? Hurricane knock out.
Understand, man.
Yeah, that's a Florida feel, brother.
Everything blessed and
Yeah, man.
We've been doing it for a minute. Me and CY link up again. We're there. I'm saying Miss Jules, blessings, greetings. I'm saying. And the IR right there. Negro.
Blessed. Brethren, what part of Florida you based?
They are Orlando, Kissimmee.
Kissimmee? Brother, you know say I don't know with you all the while between Orlando and Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They are 1.5 from Tampa.
Yeah, man. I easy drive though. We do it all the time.
Where part you now?
Chicago right now, but normally I would do anywhere from Fort Lauderdale and then places so to Kissimmee then to Tampa.
Stepping at the place, just ding me.
Yeah, man, for sure. For sure.
Pop up and check the situation out.
Yeah, man.
Make a boom one, yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Spain told body some in a come with fuckery craft. Fat Benz land a road new day close the car. Plus me mother good, me brother them a blast. And me think comfortable now me want a blast. Keep going down, we never ever pass. We have to complete the one with the class. What the envious and the devil star. Say a prayer chant starts with them of the heart.
Back to the situation.
I play by the king, say loves all I bring. I follow rat on them case, man. Original done. Smoky done on them case, you know? Number one at the area. Fire.
Smokey.
Yeah.
Nigo.
Yeah, man.
You got the man got some fusion things, you know what I mean? And one day I would like to send some of them up to you and see what you want to do with them, you know?
Yeah,
some
man.
contest thing too.
Okay.
Yeah, man. For real. Yeah, man. Listen, before we go out of this, I want you to bless the show, man.
You know a piece of the new thing, you know, because we have a new thing.
Man. That's the right
guilty as charged.
All right, top ball.
We have a new thing named Guilty as Charged, produced by Genius and Genius, you know? Thing goes so. Holy I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. Got to get it straight before it's too late. You keep blaming I and I every time blood I run, but I ain't never build those nights. I never build those guns, and I never fly no plane, and I never drop those bombs, and I never earn a red cent from the sale of your weapons. Rastafari, you're guilty. You're guilty.
What?
Guilty as charged. Rastafari, you're guilty. Babylon, you're guilty of wounding and harm. You own the factories that make your weapons of destruction. You control every process from designs to production. You ship them all across the world with your manuals and instructions. So why when blood run you think to yourself you don't have it on your hands? Rasta find you guilty. You're guilty. You're guilty as charged. Babylon, you're guilty. You're filthy of wounding and harm. Remember, any man can squeeze a trigger, but only if you can make a gun. So instead of pointing fingers, one go follow the crumbs. Cause if you check out the proportion, it's like 99 to 1. Not telling you to overlook the trigger man, but don't you forget the bigger man. When you're solving for X in this equation, don't you forget about Y. When you're making your laws and your legislation, don't you forget that's why. Rastafari, you're guilty. You're guilty. Guilty as charged. Babylon, you're guilty. You're guilty. Come face your judgment, yeah. Rastafari, you're guilty. You're guilty of wounding and harm. Rastafari, you're guilty. Babylon, you're guilty. Yeah, man, you know, just a little easy.
Yeah,
Tunes, you
man.
know?
I hide.
Yeah, man, that's
I
a,
hide them guilty.
yeah,
Make
man,
them
them
know.
guilty. You know what's
Yeah,
up?
listen, we got the we're starting well, two things we're gonna start. I can tell you now since we here now, let you know too, because everybody's gonna know.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna be doing a little comedy half hour, I think on Friday or something, Friday nights or whatever. But we're also gonna be doing a hour show of just music,
Yeah, man.
no interviews. Yeah, so everybody, I think I informed you before, but that's what we're headed for, my man. So you have a show coming up when?
Yeah, you know, so the show in some hours from now. We have a
Boy, Bob, reality.
in a
Let
few
them know,
hours.
star.
We live
Away
tonight.
with them, star. Away with them.
Yeah, we are there in a place called Safari Lounge. We had Chuck Fender, Spanabana, Ginger, myself, and a couple of young artists. You know,
Yeah, boom,
my band, TL Chopper, and them youth that's pass through. But yeah, man. So we've been blessed. We have like some serious connections where we can do some really nice shows, and you know, we have some nice. You know, so the thing goes still when you put in the work, as like I say, after a while you get to that point. You know, so like I say, near my 10-year mark. So you know, bigger things happen as you progress.
Amen. Manners and respect, man. God bless, my lion.
Yeah, man. Always, you
God
don't know.
bless the real. Always.
Yeah, man.
Anything you want to say before you leave, Julia? Before you leave?
Well, I want to big up all of you guys. Well, since yesterday, Belize open up, so everybody just got free up now. We no go bash till 3, 4, 5 the morning or whatever. But I don't know. I will still be careful because yeah. I want to big up all my family members there, my brother, my sister, my uncle, my auntie, my granny, who they are, who not they are, and me I'm a sister.
How would I mean?
And may our ancestors continue to bless each and every one of us with wealth, health, and everything else you could think about.
All right, my love. I love you more than anything. You're not going nowhere. I'll chat to you later anyway.
No. I'll be about.
All right, baby. All right, Nigo, man. One love, man. Yo, we line up the thing personally.
Yeah, man.
Personally, we line up the thing. All right.
Yeah,
you
know the link.
And then guess what now?
Yeah, man. Still up.
Directly in the future, again, I light up again, man. I love it, man. For real.
Man.
You need soldiers like you in the building, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, them there, brother, we just suffer all of them.
All
They're
right,
here.
bless. One
All right.
love, me lord.
Yeah, man.
Say hi
Bless you
to
there.
everybody for me, man. Happy
Steeler.
anniversary to me, man. Bless.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Don't know, you don't know.
All right. One.
All right.
Yo, it's the boy D-Breeze, the young baller, straight out of Mango Creek. And me say, I don't need no problem. Me cut a family, cut a friend, me cut a fire, my head with them, no need no damn problem. Like I said, it's the boy D-Breeze, the young baller, and I just want to encourage everybody to link up on my bro page called C-Smoke. Every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. My bro will be live on Facebook and YouTube at C-Smoke. Big up yourself, bro. On a link up. Maximum bass. Big tune, big tune.
I thought you was leaving so you could take the win down. Oh, well, let me go back and just check. Oh, later. A genius this. Pull up that, Smokey. Pull up that. Excuse me. In a few minutes, we'll be talking to Miss Arlette Gomez, alongside Mr. G. Michael himself. But for right now, we want to know certain things, dig? Yeah, Fire Dice, April 16th. Fire Dice will be in the building himself personally, directly. You know what I mean? I always keep an eye up on the backyard right now because, yeah. The genius that. That's the genius that. Oh. Yeah, tonight it's all going down. The Labland starting well, I tell you that, yeah. 3:33 New York time, I don't know. Oh. Say respect to my Lee brother. Chucky, Roland, Leroy, Master Lee, all the time, Gloria, Simi, Ems, all my Lee cousin, all my Lee baby, don't know. Yeah. Mac Morales, man like Francis. Yeah. All them ball out of LA, yeah, for real. I got the way it is. But check this out right now, for right now. The genius that day. Watch out. Well, my pan, my young boys will come with the door next. Cause look, we start work out for now for next year. A champion, I don't know. Serious thing. 30 now. Hold on. Time for my boy, make a call my boy and I make it know. Wicked Pharisees, them want me dead. Want me fall them to the knees. Life failing from disease. As long as I am here, we are telling see a life here. Memories, if you know we gotta wish. Before the blessings come, we know we gotta give. We not gonna because we know they gotta yeah, we'll be coming in a little while. Be jumping again back to it in a little while. In the meantime, the genius in that Buckley. We got a lot of things for here. Watch nothing. Drop the miracle thing, Smokey. Make them get it sense, Smokey.
Gangster with gangster. How you say Fire Dice represent the Smokey than now? Ready now? Wow, what's up? What's up? What's happening? You stopped and you locked it. You want to know what it is? C-Smoke. C-Smoke.
Hello.
And wherever you see smoke, there is fire, lightning, thunder, brimstone, and light.
You ready to check back in about right now?
This is CY and Smokey Dan
All
at
right,
the
good. Make
control.
sure
Don't touch
G
and
Michael
don't
ready.
go.
Oh, G Michael there, so you could check in now. You could check in now.
This is C5
All right, thanks.
Birds of a feather moving thriller. I've lost their way.
Yes, Mr. G.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm waiting. I'll let it be here in a minute.
Okay.
You know, let everybody know.
Respect every time.
Yeah, that was about Smokey Dan. See Mr. G there?
Yes,
Julia's
sir.
in the background somewhere. Julia had some had a little project to do, so
Okay.
come out. Yeah, that's what that was, you know.
Well, we're good, me. I got lots for talk about.
Yeah, dig it. That's what it is. It is what it is. She be here in a little minute.
Yeah, me come in earlier, you say, right?
Yeah, me come in. Yeah, me check everything me clear.
All right.
Everything me clear. Everything me clear.
So, we have to get the get the time thing straightened out. So yeah, be 2:30 Belize time to 3:30 Belize time, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
Yeah, be for me that.
Well, no
4:30 till 5:30. Yeah, to me that 4:30 till 5.
I'm confused me. Come, you know that were you there? 2:30. I racing in my head.
All right. You're good. You're good. Don't worry.
You're going Facebook too, right?
Yeah. With the Facebook, no.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, with the Facebook, no.
All right. No, you got anywhere where people could comment and things like that on the side?
Yeah, they go comment. They go comment.
All right. So
it's right there. They go comment.
Where the comments there?
Yeah, the comments are right there. So you see how they comment?
Yeah. You wait, you're live already, or you're going live soon?
We're live now.
Wonderful. All right.
Wonderful. All right, just make a work with some of these things here for you, and then we about it. Let me get that out the way. Okay, Smokey. Hey, Mr. G. There goes Miss Arlette right there, Smokey Dan. That's Miss G.
How you doing? Evening.
That's Miss Arlette right there, man.
Arlette, are you on? Let me hear you.
Good evening, everybody.
All right. How you doing?
Yes.
G Mike here. If you see,
I'm good. I'm good.
If you see smoke, it's because we're hot. So we talk today. No, we got right out the box. The slap. Me and you, Arlette, could talk about the slap. What do you think about the slap? Arlette, first of all, let's introduce Arlette. Arlette, I've sinned because I say if you're lost in your heart, you've sinned. I've been lusting for a long time over this lady. And if serious, I tell you, if I was 20 years younger, I really would be singing the blues, not punta. But it is what it is. So what can I say? We have to live with it. Right, Arlette? Hi, Arlette.
Hi, Miss Arlette.
Hey,
Miss Arlette.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're thinking about the slap, Arlette.
I see all the uproar, and my thought is I will neither condemn or condone.
You have to one or the other. You can't sit down on the fence on this one.
Listen, I try not to. There has to be a middle ground for some people because
No. There's right or wrong. Was it right or was it wrong?
It was wrong.
All right, straight up.
It was wrong.
But how can you qualify that? How can you? There's nothing you could say because at the end of the day, you can't just walk up and put your hand on nobody, because then you're in the condemn don't even violence against women. Because that's the way I say, right? No care when a woman tell you, you're not supposed to knock on, correct? So regardless, this man is a comedian. This man run a joke.
No, listen. It wasn't. The slap was wrong. It was in poor taste. It should not have happened. And like you said, he's a comedian. If some of us or some people feel like the joke was in poor taste, but I don't think that was the action to take.
I don't even see that the joke was in that much of poor taste. Because when the woman to lose some hair, you got one condition that makes her lose hair. Man lose hair all the time. How much ball man, see that you have to pay and whatnot. Rock and rig. rock and ball head. Remember Sinead O'Neill? Why she mean Sinead? What? O'Connor, where the girl mean was sing?
Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor. You see, she me
Sinead
ball.
O'Connor.
She is ball, and you don't know how you want to get out there now. And I think Will Smith to try impress a woman who know him want to impress him apparently. Done gone and do thing with a number of other fellows while married to him. So I think, and people who say, what we got more important thing to talk about. Nah, fuck no. I want to talk about this because this is one very interesting thing. And we got things to talk about. But I'm saying, I not there with people who say, that them people got money, they're not big star, and not got nothing to worry about. They're not that. But I want a topic that actually puts your morality and the way you think on the line. Because you could say to yourself, now, what am I do in a Chris Rock shoes?
Well, and I think that we should. I don't think we should have to look upon it as an individual sense. We should look at it a little bit more broader as it relates to talking about violence against anybody. Okay. So if we're going to take the players out of the equation, then we just look at the action and then do the discussion from there. Violence in any form like that is wrong.
All right.
Without looking at who the players of it are.
Yeah. So, but I think that one teachable moment, don't you? Don't you think there are lessons to be learned from this incident?
Of course, there are lessons to be learned from this. There are lessons about this incident that has been being taught since the beginning of time. We're not supposed to put our hands on other people regardless of the circumstances. The other side of it is that we don't know how people respond to any situation and their reactions will be, and this was his.
Yeah, but
so of course it's a teachable moment. We have to learn how to control our action.
But again, I hear you trying to justify it and ameliorate the matter as if, well, you have to consider what he need to go through. But you either, and again, you split hairs. You can't put two sides of this thing. That either that just wrong, straight out wrong, or it okay because of certain things. But it was wrong straight out. I think, I don't know.
No, G Mike. I don't think it is that cut and dried. I don't think it is that cut and dried. We can say and we must say that violence in any form is wrong. Right. But we cannot say that we know what he was feeling and why he reacted how he reacted.
No. This man not crazy.
It's not that cut and dried.
No, man. You can't. I don't care where you did go through. I don't care where I did go through. Arlette, that I like you to chase one hyena because they laugh. Hyenas laugh. Comedians give jokes. You can't. I've heard worse jokes than that. Again, he make it seem like this woman's condition. This woman never got leukemia. This woman never got no life-threatening cancer. This woman had some. Do you want I show you my brush when I don't comb my hair? How much hair in my brush, and I had to worry if I lose my hair.
But listen, I understand that, and we're on the same page. The action was wrong, but you have got to, from the other point of us Black women, you have got to understand journey with here, and what that was like for people who. For women when we start losing our hair. Let me tell you, when I start losing my hair.
This at all. The woman no in this at all. No. She.
No, but
listen.
you're saying he has a threatening condition, and so it should have warranted.
That's not a big deal.
Such a reaction. I agree. Right. The reaction is wrong. Should not have warranted the reaction. But we can't. It to me, just me. is not that cut and dried. The action was wrong, but we don't know what precipitated it. Everybody have an opinion about why he did what he did. But I think we should just leave it at the fact that
you
the
know what's
action
sad?
was wrong.
You know what is sad? Because you know what the white people then they look upon there and say, you see why we shouldn't make them black people get in their position. Yeah, watch how they go on. That he did a big slap. That was a slap to the civil rights movement, Arlette. For them white people could say that certain black people go on with it. Tell you a long time, they can't handle fame, they can't handle the spotlight. Wait, suppose Chris Rock may respond, suppose Chris Rock may know karate, jump up and kick on down, and then a big thing on the stage. You have to admire Chris Rock. What do you think of Chris Rock's response?
I think it was honorable. It was he held himself in very, very good composure. But that's why I think that we need the conversation starts to go into all different things, which is why I think that we should say, listen, he was wrong, because we go into the race realm, we go into the black woman share thing, so I think that, okay, we vetted it. It's been talked about ad nauseum. And I think that we should be at a point where, the action was wrong, no justification, but we cannot say we know why he did what he did.
But what do you mean? There's no excuse. There's nothing you could come up with for say this man had a reason for that. None.
There's no justification.
So then there's no, you can't, we don't need to know all of that. That is not important. We don't need to know.
Why we should leave it at he was wrong. Because then
but then there's nothing, but then they try soften it by suggesting that we don't know where they go on with him. It doesn't matter where they go on with him. He not one grown ass man. You don't put your hand on nobody else, whether that woman or a man. Support me a woman. Hold on, Arlette. Support me a woman. He gone up and slap. How you may see it then? Would you say, well, we don't know women to go on with, huh? You let me feel the same way? Would you? No, of course you wouldn't. You freeze up on me at the wrong time because I want to get an reaction. And that
has been discussed at nauseam, and he should not have done it. It's wrong. It was wrong.
What do you think should happen to him?
Well, that's not for us to say, though. I think.
We cannot remove ourselves from this, Arlette. We are the public that we pay for see pictures that we put on way there. We have an opinion and we need to state it. We can't just wash our hand like Pilate after this. We can't.
No.
What do you think? What do you think should happen?
What I think should happen to Will Smith. Really and truly, I don't.
So you should have left it alone. You think?
No, I think that whoever, if it's the academy or whoever, should do what they think should happen. Really, that's my position. That's what I think. I think
that's like saying nothing, though. I'm surprised. That don't soft answer. I know. I think they should take away Oscar and Banner. You can't work again at all because you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Chris Rock stock just shut up, right? You can't buy a ticket for go see him because he's so popular.
I'm sure.
No, that Chris Rock.
I think, but I think on the other side, for the people who are supporting this atrocious act, it's probably the same thing for Will Smith.
Yeah, well, make them go say, I bet you don't know that name. The consensus is he was wrong. The consensus is that again, will work the Hollywood again. I really don't think so. I see he no big movie or no Oscar. Say he done. He done, and he went off in a corner because spending money because he got some money, but in nothing to go on with him. His son tweeted, "That's how we roll." What do you think about that? That's how we roll. Now, There's a mindset
Listen,
out there. Go ahead.
these people will continue to do what they are doing. That's the bottom line. They will continue to do what they're doing.
We meaning what? Meaning what?
It means exactly what you said. Exactly what you said. People are doing. I keep saying this, and I can't say this has been discussed on both sides of the fence, right? And there are people who will not agree with our position, saying it was wrong, and we will not agree with the people who say we don't know what happened. They don't think it was wrong. They think Chris was wrong. So it's like you're having a discussion where there will very rarely be a meeting of the minds.
No, but you know what though? Now, funny thing, I don't mind a person stand up and say, "Oh, that's all right that he did it," and have an explanation for why they think it's okay. I would like to listen to that. If a person says, "Well, you shouldn't have done it," and give an explanation on why he thinks he shouldn't have done it, which is the point I take, I don't have a problem with that. I can listen to that too. But when you say, "Well, listen, man, the way I say it happened, and then we shouldn't deal with it," because at the end of the day, it is the issues like these that determine how we move forward as a society. Do we condone this kind of stuff or do we condemn it? There's no in between. There's no middle ground, ethical or unethical. But anyway, listen, we never talk too much about hey. You're kind of like the chicken out for me on this one, but it all right.
No,
Shine.
I am telling you, I think he is wrong. But I think that we've discussed it at nauseum. And again, I don't one of the people who say, I don't one of the people who say he was wrong, and okay, he was wrong. What else we're supposed to know?
Tell me, Sonny.
I'm one of those people. If that means that I am chickening out, I don't look at it like that. I just think that you state your position and you shouldn't have to it.
Arlette, you've been in the limelight. You have received an award or two. You've been called on to address people in public. If you were up there addressing people in public and somebody out there for one reason or other, whether they feel justified or not, come up and slap you, what would you do? Tell me, because knowing Arlette,
honest,
I know the answer.
This, me don't know how to fight.
You don't know how you react?
That I would defend myself.
I know you're box your ass back. I know you're box. Yes. Yes.
No, so, I would want to think that I would carry myself with some level of dignity or decorum. That's what I would want to think. And that is what I would hope I would do. But I don't know what my reaction would be in that moment, because I don't think that is how Chris Rock would have ever said he would have responded if something like that had happened.
Well, see, and this is the unfair thing about it, because Chris Rock didn't expect that.
That's what I'm saying.
If Will Smith had shouted from his seat before he get up, "Leave my wife's name out your fucking mouth," and then get up and gone up for slap her, I could have got more respect for Will Smith, because at least should have given him man one indication away. Because you've seen the roast of celebrities before, where celebrities tell some serious jokes about one another, and they don't do that. Then you just don't do that. Sometimes the next person like get up and hug up like that and say, "All right, that a joke or something." But what he should have done was relax when he get a mic, then address that matter. But there's nothing we can say, and I don't care where we go through what kind of stress in the under. That was and somebody said, and let me say this before we close out on this, that Chris Rock could not respond in any way other than he did because he had the weight of the whole black race upon his shoulder. In other words, if him respond and they had an all-out brawl, that may really make all black people look bad. What Will Smith did was enough, but the fact that Chris Rock did not respond in like manner, showed that only some black people then would be then kind of hooligan Hillary kind of way there. So in a case like that, I side with Chris Rock on this, and I think Will Smith should lose his Oscar and get banished. Go somewhere, the cricket soccer or something, go spend your money, right? So anyway, let's go. Shine win the convention. What do you think about Shine?
Look at that.
No, come on. What do you think? You know what? You want back out on this one too? I'm surprised that you are late. Who did you support?
No. Nobody. I had no, for lack of a better term, I had no cocky in this fight.
But Arlette,
I'm a party supporter, and
that's what I'm saying.
I'm a supporter of the party, and whoever.
But you must have had a preference. You had a preference.
Whether I would have supported one or not, that's who was chosen, and that is who we should that's who the party should work
as
with.
a woman, do you believe that it's time for women to become more involved, to be more prominent in the political arena?
Most definitely. There's a role for women in leadership roles, but I don't like when we blanket things and say it's time for women. I don't want somebody to say you must support this person because the person's a woman. You have to bring more than that to the table. So most definitely there is a role that women can play in leadership positions. I really believe that, and but it's more than just being a woman.
I like that. I really, because that's like affirmative action. You know, just want to hire somebody because they're a certain, just to fill a gap. You need to bring. I mean, if you got two people with equal qualifications, I understand. Then you try your best to pick the person. And if indeed, then women having been, like black people have been oppressed for so long, they deserve one lead advantage. Then they deserve to be. If you got two of them to vie for it, and that are equal, then I would give the advantage to the one who has been oppressed. And women have been held down for a long time. So, but I don't know that now. You're a party supporter. Make we get it clear. I am more PUP than UDP. You are more UDP than PUP. I'm always suspicious of people who say I don't know P, because trust me, they're not somebody P. If they're only stinking P. No, but the UDP unfortunately is in a low spot. You see any possibility that they might be able to regroup in time for the next elections?
They've been there before. They've been there before. They've been in a low spot before.
Yeah,
lower
but
than
this one rough. You think? You think? I don't know when.
Whenever you lose, whenever an election, it's rough.
Yeah, true, but then
it's rough, and it.
But you're faced with more than this, Arlette. You're faced with a resignation. You're faced with a resignation of a number of powerhouses. Finnegan gone, Barrow gone, Gappy gone, who else? Pat Faber gone. So you're kind of like some powerhouses gone there. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about the performance of the current government so far? They've been in over a year. What kind of report should I give them on a report card?
Listen. I am a supporter of the opposition party, and but I'm not a fanatic. I'm not a fanatic. If I see something that I don't agree with, I say so. If I see something that the opponent is doing that I think is good, I say so. I have to confess that I have plugged out for quite a while.
You're not even in tune.
yeah, I've been so jaded with the whole process and all that has been going on since the elections. So
but I let you too involved. You too a prominent person to do that, because suppose all we take that stand in, then we're really in trouble, don't you think? I mean, we
well,
need
no,
opposition.
yeah, no, but listen, some people, myself, needed this time, because just like how the party needs to regroup, I need to regroup. I need to find out what my role will be, if any.
Well, certain
So
that
I have
you.
to do a whole lot of self-reflecting. And so really and truly, as it relates to the going ons and what has been going on, what has not been going on, I have really checked out. The only thing that has been so glaring for me was the gas prices that kept rising and rising and rising.
But
And
it was rising on the both parties, though. So
of course, listen, but that's what I'm talking about. I talked about it when it was rising under the other party too. But
right.
but let's call it what it is.
What is it?
Call it what it is. It's
What is it?
rising, and it is rising a little bit more alarming and more frequent. And we can
But
call it.
But it's a global. It's a
But I was
global
just
thing,
going to
though.
say that. Listen, I was just going to say that we can call it a global thing, world prices.
Right.
When the opposition was in power, that's what they said too. And what did everybody say? We don't want to hear that.
Well, I think they're saying the same thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But hold on, though. Hold on, really, because when the opposition was in, and the opposition had Petrocarib, remember, gas prices were still relatively high compared to everywhere else. So now the rest of the world seems to have caught up with us. So that and unfortunately, ours have to keep going up too.
Yeah, but I think what we have to start to do though is that we have to deal with things in the present as it's happening. We have to stop. Well, back then it happened under the UDP too. It happened under the PUP. It happened under the UDP too. And how much longer that is going to be the cop out?
Well, I like you said that, because remember, for the whole 13 years that the UDP was in, they kept pointing to what happened under the PUP. Did you feel like they should have never?
I am saying that we need to deal with the present whenever it happens. If it happened in the 13 years, if it is happening now, how much longer are we going to continue to blame other entities, other people for what is happening now?
Are you willing to have that same message regardless of which party is in office?
That's me. Anybody who knows me will tell you that is me.
Would you consider running for office?
Never.
You know why? Why?
Never.
But you'd be a good politician.
No.
You're outspoken. You're tough skin.
Never.
Yeah, but that interests. Well, what if the area where you live, the people come to you? Because I think this is what should happen. People of an area should ask somebody from that area that they have confidence in, would you represent us in parliament? But that is not what happens. Do you know that most people that represent certain areas don't live in those areas? In fact, I don't know if any representative lives in the area that they represent. Don't you think? How do you feel about that? Do you think that a representative should live in the area that they represent?
I don't know that it is that black and white though. I think that if I can go into any area, maybe I live in an area that doesn't need my expertise, and I could go into another area that needs me and work as hard.
But you are representing that area.
Maybe the area that I live in would not need me. But there's another area where I think that I can make a better impact.
Well, move it in.
And then go and live that way. But it's not that easy either. So I should leave my house where I had to pay my mortgage and go live somewhere else in an area where I think that I can help those people. That's just geography.
Now you you worked where in Washington D.C. for a while, right?
Yes.
And what do you think about the diaspora vote? Now you have a bunch of people in the diaspora that some want the vote by proxy, and some want to even be able to come home and run for office, which I am, I'll tell you straight out, I am vehemently opposed to. I do not think that unless they can denounce or renounce the citizenship that they hold over there, that they should not. What do you think should be the role of the diaspora in our electoral process?
Again, it's a little bit hard. I don't know. With our system of our parliamentary system that we have, we're a constituency-based system. So where will they vote? Who will they vote for?
But Arlette, we come right back to what you were saying earlier, that you don't have to live in the constituency to represent them. So isn't that the same thing?
Yes, but they will have to register, right?
Well, I imagine.
Right. So which constituency is it going to? This is such a complex situation, because so each person will choose where they will register.
I don't know that is so complicated though.
Is that what's going to happen? Like for argument's sake, how will they register to vote? Which constituency will they register to vote?
How about
I am not against saying that people who live in the diaspora cannot vote, but I had a discussion with somebody, and this is what the person said to me: how am I, who has lived in the United States for 50 years, going to say I have a right to determine the governance of a country that I have not lived in for 50 years and does not want to go to live?
Alette,
so that's another side of the argument.
But it's the same. It's the same. You're jumping on the other side of the same argument that you made before, of a person representing a constituency that they don't live in and don't even want to live in. It's the same. How about
listen, G-Mike, this is a discussion. I'm not saying that people who are living in the diaspora should not vote. I think that there is a major role for Belizeans who are living in the diaspora. I really do.
Obviously, we need them. We need them.
If we do, and if there is a way, if there is a way for these people to contribute in some other way,
how about
in that area, if they can figure it out, then I don't see how it should continue to be this.
How about we make the diaspora a constituency? How about that? How about we have them have a representative in the House?
Well, why does it have to be a voting? Let's, for argument's sake, what if we choose somebody who would be representative of the diaspora on like the economic committee, the tourism, all these houses? What if someone from the diaspora is chosen based on an election and not handpicked?
Right. In the diaspora
some of the committees.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what happened?
So
what's the question?
Couldn't that be an option of? Couldn't that be an option of engaging them and having them be a part of our processes?
In what? Say it again. I missed that. I didn't get what you were recommending. What were you suggesting happen?
So I'm suggesting, what if if a diaspora representative is on one of these committees, like the tourism committees, house committees, the planning committees, the finance and economic committee, if they have a representative from the diaspora on these committees, they are still going to be part of the processes that we're going through, the decision-making processes.
But
Why can't that be?
these committees are comprised of members of the House, right?
Are made up
So
of
they have to
members
be
of the representative, right?
right. So they would have to be in there. So that's what I'm saying. How about making the diaspora a constituency? Have them elect a person from over there amongst themselves and send down
But then,
to be. What would be the problem?
oh, because remember our question. What if it's somebody is elected who does not? What if the person elected is not a person who is a person who does not qualify? Because remember the dual citizenship.
No. We're not. We're this would be. There has to be exceptions to every rule. And when you say not qualified, I could name a number of people in the House right now.
Under the Constitution.
Under the Constitution. Well, constitutions can be amended.
I'm not talking about
the Constitution, our dynamic document that can be amended and has been amended many times. You could amend the Constitution to include a member from the diaspora. That without tampering with Chapter 57 and all of that. Don't you think? All you do is say
again. That would be a decision and a process for the policy and lawmakers. But I am saying that if we're saying then we need somebody from the diaspora to the Belizeans who are living in the diaspora, then that has to be a full-fledged policy and lawmaker
discussion and consultation and all of that. I'm not saying we just a knee jerk and jump up, but I'm saying it is one of the options we could look at. I personally believe that the diaspora is very involved already in a lot of ways outside of politics, and many people just want to be involved in politics. Not many. But the ones that do are vocal, and they get everybody else to think, when you're like, what about diaspora against Belize at home, when in fact it's just a few who wants to be in that role that has been able to make enough noise and get support and has made it seem like, oh, this is now me want to run for office of Belize. This is me to represent the diaspora, and then against we because we the diaspora, not because of me. Who want to run? So that's one fair thing, but where we do?
I think it is. There has to be a way to bridge.
Well, it has to be. We have to look for one anyway. The gap.
There has to be one because we cannot continue to say you're not the diaspora, so you shouldn't have a say. Or the diaspora people shouldn't always make it seem, because some do, that they know what is better for Belize than us who live in Belize, you know? So there has to be a way to find a meeting of the minds, because dealing with Belizeans when I was at embassy, that was one of my biggest
challenges.
That was one of the things that I loved at the embassy. I loved the work, all the other work that we did, and all the other work that we did with the OAS and the State Department. I loved that kind of work. But the most fulfilling for me was dealing with the Belizeans, because I was one of those Belizeans who kept saying, why does it seem like they're attacking us? It's like we don't know what we're doing. This is what should happen. This is what should have happened. I was one of those who felt that way, until I started to work at the embassy and have these discussions with some of these exact same people that I felt was putting us down. And having the discussions with these people, maybe their approach was the issue, but listening to them made you understand the love that they have and that they really want to be involved. People in the diaspora are helping us in ways that are so important, particularly in education, in healthcare. You know, I always believe that you have good friends, but you know when you have a good friend, when they help you in the areas of education. Educate and empower your people. And a lot of people in the diaspora do that on an individual basis. They give scholarships, and collective in organizations.
Listen, though,
So we have to find a way to bridge that.
I think there's a vast reservoir of experience and expertise in the diaspora. Many of the people have done jobs and are retired and are even contemplating where they want to spend. Of course, many have planted roots so deep that they can't just pull up you. I have relatives who have grandchildren that are Americans, so they would be foreigners in Belize. But they're at heart still love Belize. Now, I think there's a lot that the diaspora can offer in terms of advice, experience, and yes, the Lee Barrels, I think when I said is good also. You know, it does a lot for the economy. They've been holding this economy up for a long time.
All the remittances is a good percentage of GDP. We have to look at the entire picture. What if we form a program where we ask people in the diaspora? I tried it when I was at the embassy. So for argument's sake, you're would you find an organization to fund you to speak to these young people and give courses, teach a course here or there if you're retired, and we have summer classes and courses? Would you be willing to come and do that and share your skill set with our young people in Belize? You know, these are some of the things that we have to look at. Wouldn't that be something that would be good? That would be good for us to help to engage the diaspora a little bit more, other than just the remittances and the barrels and that kind of thing.
But why would that be so difficult to accomplish? I mean, that seems almost commonsensical. I don't see. I think, I don't know, has it not been recommended? But there are people also that come in from time to time. I know that BDNY, Diabetes of New York, they bring in doctors and people from time to time that help people.
Yes, but I'm talking Belizeans.
Belizeans. Well, there are Belizeans amongst them, but there are a lot.
Right, but I am talking about passing on your skill set to our young.
In a regular class, community teacher class.
Yes.
What would be the challenge in that?
Well, no, that is something that I think is something that we should look at.
You could put that on the table, for discussion.
Right. The challenge of that, I think, is minimal. It's getting them there, hosting them. You know, that's I think that those are if you want to call it challenges that would come up. That would be needed, but I just think that those are some of the things that we should look at.
Should we not maybe try to engage people? But then you have to know. Let's be real. The diaspora, and we like to speak of the diaspora as a body, but they're not organized. I like what CY is doing here. This is one part of maybe getting them together for people to be able to speak and voice their opinion. But the diaspora is not organized. They might go on party and people show up and whatnot, but they're just really dispersed. You talk about all over the place.
There are pockets here and there, you know.
Yeah.
There are pockets of them here and there, but I still think that it is something that can be done. Maybe through the embassy, the consulates.
People like Bert Tucker, and I think Norman Fairweather for a while. I like what Bilal Morris is trying to do. I've tried that approach. Why is it not working? What is the hang up? I mean, how do we get past this us against them attitude?
Yeah, we have got to find a way to bridge it, because I believe that if we could find a way to get these, you remember when way back, I think in the 80s, there was a consortium for Belizean development, or it's that kind of type of thing that needs to happen again. Come together, have a representative from each state where there's a collection of a vast collection, collective of Belizeans and have representatives from each state, and then move and find a way how you can find, and if it's with the government, if it's with another organization in Belize, that we can put these kinds of programs together.
We have to make a start, I think.
I agree.
We have to make a start, and shows like these, I think, they are a good point to expose the issue, bring it up, discuss it, and hopefully at some point, because there's too much, there's too valuable assistance out there. That, and again, I mentioned Norman Fairweather because one time I read something where he wrote, he said that we in Belize are busy trying to establish sister city relationships that don't go anywhere, that just want a lip service. When what we should be trying to do is reach out and get the diaspora involved, have the diaspora be a part and again, because they are a nation unto themselves. They're still Belizeans because they love Belize.
The onus, who's the onus on to do that?
Well, that's a good question.
It's us in Belize. Who is the onus? It's us in Belize, and it's not us in Belize engaging them. It should be both ways. The onus is on who to make it.
But are you saying then that
who should take up the mantle?
Which side do you think is doing more and which side is not doing enough? Because if we get to that, if you
I think it's both our responsibilities. And I think, listen, I think that both administrations have given a lot of lip service to engaging the diaspora.
I feel the process, yeah.
When I worked at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then I was at the embassy, I was a diaspora desk officer, and I did my best with the resources that I have and the authority that I have, because doing it, I wasn't working autonomous of the rest of the embassy and the government, and it's not everything that I felt could work was everybody else felt could
you weren't
work.
getting the support you weren't getting the support for your programs.
I think part of it is that if you let me be politically correct, you have got to make sure that your program aligns with everything else, right?
But didn't you have somebody there in charge that you could have spoken to? Who were you answerable to?
Most certainly, I answered to my ambassador, and and we did a lot. He was an ambassador who really believed in engaging.
Which ambassador did you work under? Who was he?
Dan Gutierrez.
Okay.
He did his best in engaging in pushing through programs for Belizeans. There is an event that happens in DC every May. Mm-hmm. And when we got there, we grew that event from the Belizean embassy having maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people attending for the day, to we having about 6,000 to 7,000 passing through that embassy for the day. And it's because we engaged the Belizeans, and they came from as far as California and Chicago and Atlanta and Miami and New York, and so they came because we engaged them. But I believe that, and I've said this even long before, is that there has to be continuity with these programs. You have to have some level of continuity. Also, when we got to the embassy and we had our September celebrations, we opened it up to Belizeans to come, to any Belizean who wanted to come. Initially, it was by invitation. When we got there, we opened it up because it's Belize's independence. It's, and of course you have to invite all the other ambassadors and dignitaries to your independence event. But we opened it up to everybody. It was an open event, and you can come in, you can enjoy, you can march, you can dance, we can sing all our Belizean songs and that kind of thing. It's about engaging the people. You want the Belizeans out here to feel that they are welcomed.
But given the number of Belizeans in these particular states, in particular, say Chicago, LA, even maybe New Orleans have a big group. Instead of having a Belize Day where they come to you in Washington, shouldn't you go to them and have a Belize Day in each of these localities? Wouldn't that help?
That's how I feel. That's really what I think should happen. But this wasn't a Belize event, though, G-Mike. It is called Passport DC, and all the embassies in DC opened their doors to showcase Belize.
Okay.
So
they all focused on Belize and that particular day?
No. Each embassy opened to show their country.
I see. Okay.
And so right. So what we did with the event is that we engaged our Belizean people, and we allowed them to come and set up booths to showcase their product, to sell their products, to show people why they should go to Belize. So we had the Belize Tourism Board came, Belize Hotel Association, the Immigration Department came. You know, we had travelers, we had choirs, we had my representative, and we had out here coming who have businesses in the United States who came, got their booth, and showcased their products. That is called Passport DC, where then you are showing prospective visitors. And I can tell you from the ones that I did, we had quite a few people who came back to the embassy and asked for information because they wanted to go to Belize because of what they saw at our event. And that's because we engaged the diaspora, and the diaspora came out and showcased Belize.
Who replaced you when you left?
I don't know.
Was there any contingency? There's no bridging period. There's no, all right, let me go in and speak to you.
Not.
What were you doing? Can we establish? So there's no continuity at all. Yeah.
I offered, but there's not. I offered to do that, but I left all my files.
So tell me something. When election comes around and government changes, you just automatically know that you need to pack up and go home, or do you get a letter? Is there something that says, all right, we no longer require services? There is no suggestion that maybe you can join me, spend a month to at least pass on your what happens to all your documents? What happened to all the records that you were keeping all the time?
It's left there. It's left there. It's not really my property. It's the property of the Embassy of Belize and the government.
But they have an opportunity to go through it and see what you were doing, correct?
Right. Yeah. Everything is left there. The files are left there. I offered to do some kind of handing over. They didn't see it fit. That's the way it is. That's the way our system is set up. Fortunately, when the UDP did it, I think it is wrong. When the PUP did it, I think it doesn't bode well for professionalizing the diplomatic corps. Our diplomatic office is outside of the, worldwide. But
were you?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Did you consider yourself a political appointee?
I was a political appointee, but I went because somebody retired.
But
somebody was retiring from a position.
When you were over there, all right, and as a political appointee for the United Democratic Party, and say somebody that you know comes from a strong PUP family, do you give them the same level of attention as you would from a staunch UDP?
Not one person that I have interacted with or worked with in my tenure at that embassy can say I asked them, are you a PUP or a UDP? or if
But you
I
know,
did,
have to ask.
or
You
I
know,
treated,
we know.
or if I treated them horribly. I can give you an instance where didn't know who the person was, and somebody asked me what, and I did my best to assist that person with what they needed from one of our other government agencies in Belize. And I was asked why you to help that person in a big PUP, and you know what I said? I am out here to work for Belize and Belizeans. That's not how I operate. And again, anybody who knows me and have worked with me knows that's how I am. When
All
when
right.
I when I when I did protocol at official events, I asked for the leader of the opposition. I asked to be the escort person for that person. I asked for these people because we have got to show people that this is what we should be doing for everybody. It doesn't matter. I don't have to agree with your policies, but if I have a job to do, then I will do that job.
For those who don't know, Arlette comes from a line of civil servants, people who have given your mother. How's she doing? Maud Williams.
She's good.
People might not know this is Maud Williams' daughter, and your father, of course. Where did Mr. Williams work?
My father was a senior public health inspector in many districts in Belize, and he was the head of the malaria department for a while, and then when he left government, he worked as a sales manager at Shell Belize. Remember when Shell Belize was on Southern Foreshore?
Okay.
He worked there, and then he went and he opened his own business, which was Maruda's Meats, because that's what he's trained in. He's trained in meat processing and other foods.
Wonderful. That's the business still going, or is it shut down?
No, he's retired. He's retired.
The minute I buy out, I bet you.
No, he
just phased it out.
Yeah, he just phased out.
Unfortunate, because we need more real Belizean business people. Arlette, I want to thank you for taking the time. We have to talk again some other time when you got one strong opinion on the Will Smith thing. Where I don't want to hear it happen and make them then deal with it and whatnot. You're back home in Belize. Where to now? You're retired or you're to work?
No. Just in February we opened the Rudolph Williams Diabetes.
Oh yes, we have to talk about that. Sorry, we have to go a couple minutes and talk about that. Tell us about that. How you about just jump in for time and tell me that.
Yeah, we opened that center where it's a limb salvage and prosthetic center and education on diabetes. Okay. And so we're running it through a foundation, so that we're trying to get all donations so that we can help people who cannot afford it. When we opened the center, we've partnered with the Diabetes Food Center group in New York, Dr. Stephen Wells, who is a podiatrist who was introduced to us by the Belize Diabetes Association of New York. And they saw about 60 people at the opening. Wow. And of the 60, about 35 need prosthetic limbs.
So you mean these are people getting their leg cut off because of diabetes?
Yes.
Would you say that the cases are on the rise, that we're seeing a lot more?
Yes. And again, we believe that education will help. So we believe in education, prevention, and then care. We want to make sure that people don't come to get this disease.
What are some of the ways that you're educating people? You go into schools, you send pamphlets, you drop flyers from the plane.
That is where we want to start. We do want to start with the young people. I know we're going to be partnering with BDNY, and I know they usually this year, and I know they usually do camp for children, and we're hoping that we can partner with them, a diabetes camp for children. We're hoping that we're going to partner with them. We've partnered now. We have an MOU with the Belize Diabetes Association, where we will continue to work on educating people through both of our organizations to ensure that people are eating right, exercise, and know what, look at yourself, look at your family history, to make sure that you're following all the proper guidelines.
Tell me something, because when we grew up, we eat fudge, tableta, cotta brute. We eat one thing when we
We
name
still do.
rapadura, which alone sugar.
Yes.
What's the
Yes.
rap against sugar? Why is it? And I know the diabetes people are always telling you sugar no good for you. What's your
But
opinion on that?
I don't think they're telling you shouldn't eat any sugar at all. You know, you have to have some level of sugar in sugar intake. They're not telling you that you shouldn't eat sugar. It's the moderation. Quantity is the issue.
As with everything,
Quantity. Yes, as with
As with
everything.
everything,
Quantity.
yeah.
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
the old folks used to say, too much of anything no good for nothing.
Right.
And I think
Right.
once we have to keep that in mind, because that is true.
Right. Well, what we're hoping is that we will get the support and the buy-in from the business community to help us to help these people, because a lot of them can't afford um, the critical care that is needed. A lot of them can't afford the prosthetics. And I am telling you that the statistics show that 1 in every 5 person who loses a limb dies within 5 years of that amputation.
Wow. I was
So,
wondering, I was thinking you're gonna tell me that 1 in every 5 people who lose a limb doesn't have to lose a limb. Do the doctors sometimes act too
well,
quickly?
well, they don't have to lose the limb either. But I think another part of it is that I can tell you that Dr. Wells was able to predict my father's amputation within
Well in
3 or 4 years.
advance? Mm.
Within 3 to 4, he said within 3 to 4 years, he's going to lose a limb. And if these things are not followed, if this is not done, if da 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 da, and he lost a limb.
Did he not follow the advice given by the doctor, would you think?
You don't get the full care that you need
I
in
see.
Belize. Unfortunately, we don't have a foot and ankle doctor in Belize.
Tell me
So
something. Great.
mhm.
How would you, if someone wants to help, let us do this now and tell how do they approach you? What do they do? What's the best way to go about
Right,
that?
we have an email address, we have a website, we have a phone number that works with the most popular WhatsApp, regular calls, so they can reach us at the website is rwdbelize.com,
Okay.
and our email is rwdfcenter
Mm-hmm.
at gmail.com, and the
And
phone number
mhm.
is 613-1839.
Wonderful. Arlette, I want to thank you for coming on. We're a bit over time here. It's been a pleasure.
No, well,
Uh,
thank
we'll
you
talk
guys
again.
for having me.
We'll talk
Yes,
again sometime, right?
certainly.
All right. My regards to you know who and all the rest of them.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Arlette.
All right.
Be
I
good.
will.
All right.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
folks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. This has been Smoke and G Mike in your company. We do this every week at 2:30 Belize time. I believe it's 4:30 US time. I want to have to figure that out on yourself. But at 2:30 every week, every Saturday, IG Mike will be here, and we have different guests, and we talk about different issues and whatnot. Thank you, CY Clinton Young, the producer, director, everything for this show here. And I think a wonderful forum, and we'll stick with it and see what we can do to keep bringing pertinent issues to light and good discussions for your listening and involvement also. So don't forget that you can always drop a comment and let us know what you're thinking. So long, shalom.
Boom, it a tape. No girl can say me rape. You want to go on, your boy Dre Blunt, you know, represent for my brother in a fire dice, you know, birthday celebration. They don't know birthday bash. Saturday, April 16, 2022. I don't know, say guest DJ and Mark are there. No artists are there. Admission, bring a buckle. I don't know, say the location of Studio One backyard in a Dre Blunt and me say, my girl, me have a slide tackle for your boom boom. You tell me one up, hey, my youth when you come in a foreign, remember you represent jam down in a foreign. No make no man touch your bottom in a foreign. No make no girl sit down on your tongue in a foreign. Fire Dice birthday and bash man, Dre Blunt represent all the way from New York, man. See flyer, yeah? I'm out.
Julia. Girl. This kind of-
Julia. Where you go, my girl? You got blondie? You got a blondie.
We got to take this out. Kind of here, we got to see.
Yeah.
Put on your mic. Put on your mic.
Pass the mic.
Pass the mic.
Julia,
Julia.
where you going?
What's up?
Yeah, what's going on, girl?
You tell me.
I don't have not much going on. I'm just living. I'm just passing the time on this earth, girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My prerogative, right? It's my prerogative.
It's your prerogative.
It's my prerogative. Change it, look.
Yeah, that's Albert 6 in the building.
Okay.
And we're about to come out of this, you know what I mean? So, Jules, you're good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, lock off the thing.
Tostones, yeah, boy.
That's how we go on right now.
All right.
Yeah.